I am calling the Borough Beach Haven regular meeting to order on April the 11th, 2016 at 7 o'clock. And we start with the flag salute, and Mr. Cactus is the flag.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by posting on the bulletin board on the entrance hall of the Beach Haven Municipal Building, and mailing the same to the Beach Haven Times, the Asbury Park Press, and the Press of Atlantic City. Mr. Caxton.
Here.
Mr. Keeler.
Here.
Mr. Maskell.
Here.
Mr. White.
Here.
Mayor Davis.
Here. Okay, the manager's report. Rich?
Thank you, Mayor. I'll begin with our treasurer's report for the month of March 2016. Cash receipts in the current fund for the period March 1st through March 31st, 2016 total $264,142.29. The cash balance in the current fund as of this period totaled $9,460,076.57. The cash balance in the water utility account as of March 31st, 2016 was $2,159,864.30, submitted by our treasurer, Sherry Bowler. Moving on to department reports, we have the public hearing and adoption of our 2016 municipal budget on for tonight. Just a quick summary. I had explained a lot of it at last month's meeting, but again, our total appropriations, including the reserve for uncollected taxes for the 2016 budget, total $11,515,152.01. This is an increase of $365,534.42 over the previous year. Changes in revenue, we're anticipating $250,000 less in FEMA proceeds. We're offsetting some of our increase with additional use of surplus of $193,910. Overall, the amount to be raised by taxation to support the 2016 budget $7,980,499.32, an increase of $417,647 over the previous year. The tax rate for this year we anticipate would be, simply for municipal purposes, would be 48.42 cents, an increase of 2.5 cents over last year. Our minimum appropriation for the support of our local library will be $675,320.32, and the water utility budget for support of water utility is at $1,796,000. Moving on to some other department reports. If anybody's been to the beach, you can see that we are literally on standby waiting for the beginning of our beach replenishment project. Essentially, it's the conditions out in the ocean that are currently preventing that from taking place. I understand that the tide has to go below 4 feet in order to allow them to begin. Again, the wave height is actually a little too high for them to work safely. What they need to do is to connect the piping in order for them to start with the dredges. I mean, everything is there waiting. They're simply looking at monitoring the conditions daily. Communication with Chris Constantino from the DEP earlier this afternoon. He anticipates that the balance of this week, to quote him, they'll continue to be plagued with subpar weather conditions for the foreseeable future. So they're waiting for any kind of window of opportunity to start it. Everybody's ready to go. We're anticipating they're going to be starting at both ends of Beach Haven, being down at Nelson Avenue and up at 12th Street. But again, it's all dependent upon the weather conditions on the ocean. We also have a resolution on this evening. We had a program that the council put together last year. We're a forgiveness program for those folks, particularly there was a bad winter, so a little while back, where quite a number of pipes that were broken and the water did to seep into the ground unbeknownst to the property owners, and some folks didn't care about our water bills. We did allow folks to petition us for forgiveness for that. There's certain formula specified in the ordinance. On for tonight, we have received applications from 36 property owners for this forgiveness. The total amount for cancellation in terms of dollars for tonight for these two properties is going to be $36,960.91. We now have a monitoring system that we purchased separately outside of our normal water monitoring, normal billing thing called Aquawalk, which will allow residents to actually sign on themselves and monitor the water usage at their own particular property. A mailing will be going out shortly to explain to everybody how this particular program works. I certainly encourage folks to participate in this program, particularly going into the spring and summer months if you have a monitoring system outside. I know many folks call during this afterwards and are quite surprised how high or how much usage they have in terms of the sprinkler system. So certainly this will be a good way to monitor that and hopefully keep control of the water bills. And that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Rich, and now we have the approval of the minutes without formal reading.
An agenda meeting of March 9th, 2016, a regular meeting of March 14th, 2016, and an agenda meeting of March 23rd, 2016.
Has everybody read the minutes?
Yes, I have a question.
I'd like to make a motion then to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Ordinance 2016 5C, an ordinance repealing ordinance 2015 32C entitled, an ordinance amending an ordinance entitled Code of the Borough of East Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, as it pertains to section 204-24D water rates, final reading.
This is the final reading, so the floor is open to any public comments. If anybody would like to make a comment regarding this ordinance, please come forward, state your name and address, and make a comment. If there's no takers, then I guess we can vote. Do I have a motion to,
Motion to approve 5C.
second?
Second.
Mr. Caxton?
Yes.
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. Master?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Ordinance 2016-7, calendar year 2016 ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank, NJSA 40A 4514, final reading.
Again, this is final reading, and this allows comments from the public. Is there anybody that would like to step forward and make a comment? In that case, do I have a motion to approve this ordinance?
Motion to approve 2016-7.
Second.
Mr. Caxton?
Yes.
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Ordinance 2016-6C, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 57-4C, protection of beaches and dunes of the Borough Code of the Borough of East Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, to regulate the use of dune walkovers, first reading.
This just involves a vote, and I just want to let everybody know that it might be new. We do publish the ordinances, so if you want to read them, you can pick up a copy. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve 2016-16. Second.
Mr. Caxton?
Yes.
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Ordinance 2016-8C, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 212-14B and 212-16 use regulations, BD district and signs of the Borough Code of the Borough of East Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey to permit and regulate sandwich signboards, first reading.
Again, do I have a motion to approve this?
Motion to approve. Second.
Mr. Caxton?
Yes.
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Ordinance 2016-9 is the 2016 salary ordinance. Having a reintroduction, this is considered first reading.
This is considered a first reading?
Correct.
Okay.
Even though
So,
it's 20.
right, I know we talked about this at the agenda.
to approve.
Yeah.
Second.
Mr. Cattrick?
Yes.
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Ordinance 2016-10C, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 171, smoking of the Borough Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, first reading.
Just for your information, we are, this is an ordinance that will prevent smoking on the beach and in public parks, which Christie did veto at the state level. So we felt that we wanted to pass it. Is there a motion to approve the first?
Any municipal property.
Any municipal property?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Cattrick?
Yes.
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Could I ask a question? On the sandwich board time,
Yes.
we agreed that we're going to go back to the code enforcement or whoever's going to enforce this thing and get their input. And
I did.
we did that about that, thank you.
Ordinance 2016-11C, an ordinance creating Chapter 185, pickleball courts municipal of the Borough Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, first reading.
Again, this is what we're going to be doing is charging a very minimal fee for pickleball players. This decreases our liability and the pickleball people's liability. So is there a motion to approve this?
Motion to approve 11C.
Mr. Cattrick?
Yes.
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
All matters listed under item consent agenda are considered to be routine by the municipal council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. Any items requiring the expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds, and any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda and discussed separately. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. Resolution 79, requesting the state consider various options for assisting municipalities financially recovering from Superstorm Sandy. Resolution 80, designating the code enforcement officer as the public officer for purposes of implementation of the abandoned vacant property ordinance. Resolution 81, refunding taxes paid. Resolution 82, proclaiming April 5th, 2016 as Mayor and Council Recognition Day for National Service, and the week of April 10th through April 16th as National Volunteer Week. Resolution 83, approving a certified list of eligibles for the Beach Haven Volunteer Fire Company Number 1, 2015 LoSAC. Resolution 84, returning piling bonds. Resolution 86, consenting to the issuance of amusement licenses MG2 through MG10 for Fantasy Island. Resolution 87, authorizing the execution of an agreement with Hogpenny Studios. Resolution 88, appointing special law enforcement officers, Class 1. Resolution 89, returning park bonds. Resolution 90, authorizing the execution of a state aid agreement with the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection and the Bureau of Physical Engineering. Resolution 91, supporting A2375, updating the e-waste recycling laws. Resolution 92, approving the certified list of eligibles for the Beach Haven First Aid Squad, 2015 LoSAC. Resolution 93, adopting the multi-jurisdictional program for public information as required by the National Flood Insurance Program. Resolution 94, certifying additional funds for website development, maintenance, and marketing consulting services, Bonnie Wells of Coastal Living Real Estate. Resolution 95, authorizing the submission of a raffle application for Coastal Volunteers in Medicine. Resolution 96, returning remaining permit fees for roof diagnostics, solar, and electric. Resolution 97, authorizing the submission of raffle applications, number 6 and 7, for the Beach Haven PTA. Resolution 98, canceling water charges. Resolution 99, awarding a contract to Aurora Environmental, Inc. for the 2016 fuel tank replacement project. Resolution 100, authorizing the execution of a grant agreement with Ocean County for the 2016 tourism grant. Resolution 101, canceling water charges in reference to ordinance 2015-32C. And finally, Resolution 102, approving an application for membership to the Beach Haven Volunteer Fire Company.
Is there anybody that would like to remove any of these resolutions for individual discussion? No, in that case, is there a motion to approve the
Motion
resolution?
to approve the resolutions as read.
Mr. Katsas?
Yes.
Mr. Keeler? Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes. Okay, now we're on to the municipal budget.
We'll open the floor for public hearing on the budget.
Yes, I am opening the floor for public hearing on the municipal budget. Is there anybody that would like to come forth and talk about the municipal budget if you've looked at it? It's a lot of work, and I have to compliment our finance crew, team, and for the hard work they put into this. If there's nobody that wants to comment on this, do I have a motion to adopt?
We'll close the floor, and then I'll take a roll call.
Yeah, okay, I'm closing the floor.
Okay. Be it resolved by the Municipal Council of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, that the budget herein before set forth is hereby adopted. Mr. Katsas?
Yes.
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
It is hereby certified that the within budget is a true copy of the budget finally adopted by resolution of the governing body on the 11th day of April 2016. It is further certified that each item of revenue and appropriation is set forth in the same amount and by the same title as appeared in the 2016 approved budget and all amendments hereto, if any, which have been previously approved by the Director of Local Government Services. I have the bill list this evening in the amount of $1,756,966.78.
Has everybody read the bills?
Yes. No questions.
No questions? Is there a motion to approve the
Motion
bills?
to approve the bills as presented. Second.
Okay.
Mr. Katsas?
Yes.
Mr. Keeler?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes. Okay, at this point, I'm now opening the floor again for public comment. That means anybody can come forward and make a comment. You do need to state your name and address, and please try to keep your comments to about 3 minutes. Appreciate that. If anybody wants to come forward, please, this is your chance. Michael?
Is this the budget you were just passed?
No, that's the bills
That's
list. The budget's much more
That comes every month.
comprehensive.
It's like 72 pages.
Yeah, unfortunately, they come every month.
Michael Peeler, 208 North Bay Avenue, Beach Haven. So this would conclude the meeting once final comment.
Yes, the public comment is one of the last things, and there's final remarks by council, and then the meeting's adjourned.
Okay. I'm disappointed that you're not recognizing April 22nd as Earth Day. Okay, we're a destination in this frigid weather still in April. People are talking about Beach Haven, dreaming, and looking forward to coming here. This is an outdoor destination, and consideration for the environment should be on your minds. It may be difficult to recognize this, but it's something that you need to come around to. Okay? You don't have to respond to it. The plastic bag issue, I've sent you some emails with some links to educate yourself about plastic bags. I've also done the same thing with balloons. And it's real important that you look at these things and consider them. Whether, I was speaking to Gus Doyle about it the other day, and he says, I don't see any balloons. There is no balloons. That's beside the point. You know, you don't have to, you don't have to know it's bad. You don't have to be seeing it to ban the outdoor display or the release. It's setting a standard, and that people need to see that and therefore think for themselves when they go back home and think about why we've done this. The cigarette thing is good, and I like that it's so vague. Vague, meaning e-cigarettes. We sure hope nobody's out there smoking crack, but smoking, period. Anything. Smoking in general, correct?
Correct.
Okay, good. That's wonderful. I did mention about the obsession with people taking selfies with wildlife. I guess you've seen in the news recently where some animals have died because of this neurotic obsession of being important, taking selfies, pulling wildlife out of the circle. Are you aware of this?
Yes, and I saw your email and I read it.
Okay, well, it's, again, it's, think about it. I know everything doesn't happen overnight. I did read your drone ordinances, and it just relates to the beach, right? And I see the chief is here, feverishly going back and forth on his little machine. But we haven't had any problems in town with selfies? I mean, with drones?
Not yet.
Okay.
Like the state has a drone policy now.
Excuse me?
The state has a drone policy.
Okay, that's, right, and the FDA is updating theirs, and I want people to enjoy technology, but not abuse it. I'd hate to be out on the back of my deck doing the full Monty while I'm watering my sage plant, and somebody take a picture of me and then end up on the town's website.
It's gonna now.
I don't think that would be good for business. I think I got, it could be bad. The other thing, I know this might be a sensitive topic because some of you might be of the GOP persuasion, but climate change. I think we should, before we start addressing it, I think it would be nice if townspeople could come out and say a thing or two of what they think might help. Everything helps, even doing something and people seeing it. It's the same thing with the balloons. It's real important. You know, I see again, we're spending close to $10,000 for streetlights. Okay?
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
I mean, there's a lot of things we can,
We talked about this at great length, Michael, yeah, the streetlight issue, but go ahead, finish and on that.
okay, and one other thing that I've never really liked is the escorts of school buses, or escorts of things. We're not escorting, these aren't delegates from the United Nations. Camden doesn't do it. Newark doesn't do it. The mileage, the gas, and we're driving around nothing but gas hogs. You know,
Actually, I think the police department has gotten a few smaller cars lately.
I don't see any
We're slowly
Priuses.
moving to smart cars.
do it.
Okay, well, that's.
We don't have any Priuses now, we're not going to.
Well, you know, I understand if you got a Prius, that might not be macho enough, but I've come up with a
We're
solution.
getting there, Michael, we're getting there.
Sunroof, and every time you feel that this is not macho enough, you could just stick your firearm out the sunroof and let one go.
Let's not do
Yeah.
this cross thing. Dress
Three-
it pick
You
up.
know,
Three minutes, Mike.
Mr. White, a little humor goes a long way.
No, not here.
Oh, sure it does. Sure it does.
Let's just keep moving
Keep
along.
moving along.
Okay, that's about it. But a
Right.
little humor does help, because everything I'm talking about is serious. And I'm on my, you need to understand one thing, Mr. White. The only reason I come here, and have ever come here, to any of the meetings, because I care about the town. Period. Whether I know you, whether I like you, whether I support a project, not support a project, it's all for the betterment of the town. That's it. Period. And I'll be the first one to make sacrifices or volunteer. I'm only here because I care about the town and its residents. That's it.
Michael, thank you very much, and we do appreciate, we need more Michael Peelers in town,
Well-
and particularly with the environmental issues. And we do have a green team, and we do have people that we are talking about the plastic bag thing, I'd love to see a ban on plastic bags. And let me tell you something, a number of years ago, you know, my one son works for Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was giving a talk in Brussels at the EU, and he was addressing all the mayors of Europe. And one thing he said is, if you want to make change, it has to happen at the local level. So this is where we make change, and we are definitely discussing this. We have a green team, we have other people in town besides you that are really concerned about these issues, and they will happen, it's just things move very slowly.
Little steps are great.
Yes.
Conversation is great.
So
Mike,
thank you.
well, two things, Mike. You might want to consider working with the Green Team or becoming a member of the Green Team.
Is that the one Jimmy is,
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah,
Because, I mean, it's one thing to state what needs to be done. The other thing is to help make it happen. And I think the Green Team is something where I think community and volunteerism in terms of filling out the applications, participating in the Green Team, and helping to make these things that are so important to you, make it happen, and working with the town to make it happen. I think it's important you say them, but it's also important that resources are limited, and I think the more volunteerism we can get to make these things happen, the better off we'll be.
I totally agree with you. I spoke to the water department today to see if I could speak to Jimmy. He's in school tomorrow, so the day after that, just to see what he's thinking and go from there.
Yep.
'Cause I got a few ideas.
That's very well said. Thank you, Michael.
I appreciate your time. Thanks.
Anybody else want to come up for public comment? Yes.
Jeff Wells, 510 North Banner. Tough to follow Michael, but I'm just gonna, and without the humor. Couple questions, and I see everybody that I need to talk to sitting up here, especially Mr. Crane. Taylor Ave went out to bid, and it came in very high, because it was prevailing wage,
You're talking about the ball
the
field.
ball fields and the parks. We're playing around with Veteran Park, and we're trying to come up with ways of fixing up some of the parks in town.
All of them.
Yeah, there's a park in Stafford that Mark Reynolds Landscaping, was an integral part of. And they leased the park to his group because it was a 501c3, and they were able to do the work without going out to get prevailing wage bids. So I have two questions here. One is, can we try to figure out, without spending too much money with legal services, can we figure out a way to lease the parks so we can do some of these works and raise money and do the parks without going into the municipal budget, which is sort of set? And the second question is to Mr. Crane. The $150,000 that was earmarked for Taylor and the renovation, can we then take it and use it for Veterans Park, or is that something that is
That's park money.
park money? Okay, so we'll have that discussion.
What we need, I'm sorry, I didn't get to meet with you this week or last week, but we can do it later.
How long was the lease for the metals?
I think it's an annual lease that it renews, but it's a continued lease, and what they've done is they've raised money, much as many towns will lease out to ball fields, to little leagues, etc. This is a little bit unique, but we can take Veterans Park and we can break it into 5 or 6 elements and fundraise for each of those elements. And we can do this and actually bid and build the elements, you know, from the bandstand on down to the Memorial Park itself, without going out and spending an additional 20-30% for prevailing wage. Just a thought.
Well, I know the planning, the master plan committee is looking at this, and certainly we're open to anything we can do to beautify Beach Haven, and definitely we can talk more in depth about this.
This question is on behalf of the master plan committee, which I've served on.
Yeah, and again, Jeff, I think I've commented in the past, I think it would be good if we had a special meeting just to talk with the master plan to find out what they're doing, what the scope is. I mean, these are, and to address the idea that you have in more depth. Because I think it's, I mean, we need fresh ideas, and I think this is one way to make improvements to the park that would be less costly to the town and get more public involvement in it too.
Here's my frustration. I live in Beach Haven. I, like you, drive down Bay, and I see the vacancies, I see the buildings. The master plan will happen, but with a volunteer and a lay group, we really need to go out to bid and get a real planner into the master plan. So that's another element altogether. We'll talk about that. But the park itself could be addressed now, since we have money that was already earmarked for parks that wasn't used because of the.
Jeff, just to clarify something, that money for Taylor Avenue ball field, because the bid came in so high, we didn't use it. Then we went, then we, there's a way that we could go out and not have to meet the bid threshold, because we go out and piecemeal. What happened was, we didn't have enough, and we also knew if we power seeded the lot versus using sod, it would have been less expensive. We did not have time, and we were going to do this, and we actually had the gears in motion, but we have the Hot Fest deal, it comes up pretty soon, and there wasn't time to power seed the field and have enough time for the grass to grow to use the field. So we really had to put that off another year. That money's still earmarked for that park.
In all due respect, I think it's probably the best thing that ever happened. So we
Probably.
did it, and the grass is looking great, and we just cut it, and it's looking fantastic. So we didn't have to spend $150,000 pulling up the lawn to put the lawn back down. So let's take a look at it.
Okay, well, we can talk about this, and it certainly is important, and we all on council really are concerned about how our town looks, and yeah, our parks and our main town.
And I've spoken to most of you individually. It was just nice to have you corporately sitting in one location so we can talk about this. All right.
Great, thank you, Jeff. Anybody else? Yes, please come up.
Mary Ann Hogan, 502 Duck Road. There was a program that's not on anymore. It was a TV program, and it was called What Would You Do? And they used to set up their cameras, and they used to have it in like restaurants, bars. And they did some politically incorrect skits, and they wanted to see how the public would react. Keeping that program in mind, I have a house that's behind me that has been abandoned. Mike, could you pick up a piece of that, please? This is what I do with my time. I pick up that house piece by piece. Plus, I've heard there's a lot of water in the basement. I feel sorry for this person, but I'm not there to clean up their property. I'm worried about my property. If that was your house, what would you do? Now, before you answer that, across this street, there were two houses. They got knocked down. The land wasn't graded, it wasn't leveled. They just took broken shells, threw them, and then put boats there. And believe me, it's not like Morrison's. It doesn't look anything like Morrison's.
I know what I do.
When it rains, there is water there for days. But I figure Zika mosquitoes can come and rent it. You go to the other side of my property, and a few people on the board know about this. They're not maintaining the house. There's weeds that you cannot believe. All winter, I have no seams. Mild winter, I have no seams in my house in the middle of the winter. I go to rake it up, the weeds are just piled up. As soon as you rake it up, everything comes flying out of there. To make matters worse, there's now a car there, a part of a car, parked in between the properties. I picked up a whole bunch of styrofoam in between the two houses. I don't belong on that property. I've commented about this before. I'm trespassing. But I can't live like this anymore. Everyone was worried about Dock Road, They're worrying about what was going to go on with the bridge or the sharing of the liquor license. If so many people went down that road to see what was going on at the catch and at the boathouse, what did you have on, blinders? Don't you see that block, how it's deteriorating? And I mean, we have a lot of foot traffic there. You have people going to all these restaurants, they see this. And I can't understand how this can be allowed. Going into our 4th year with Sandy. Nothing's gotten done. 4 years, that's a lot of time. And on the other side of me, ironically, I have a restaurant. My only good neighbor, they're moving. Aren't I lucky? And I just think it's about time that somebody does something. I mean, we found people to do taxes, reevaluate us. Is that fair? I'm living with this kind of condition, and I know my taxes will probably be raised. I don't know where to go anymore.
The only comment I'd have, and Rich, now we have an abandoned property ordinance. Now we have a code enforcement officer who's going to administer the abandoned property ordinance. Can you look into this and get back to this woman within the next couple week or two?
Yep.
And have somebody from the code enforcement officer go down here. We have an abandoned property ordinance. Which should, it was really destined to put into effect to address the situation you're talking about. And maybe these are one of the first things that we can do. And Richard, you can follow up on that? I mean,
We also have a blight ordinance which would deal with uncut weeds and things like that.
Well, I've had
She's been here
people
too many
come,
times to make
Yeah.
the same
all right,
complaint back.
and they get somebody comes in, whacks down the weeds, and wherever they land, that's where they stay. So now the situation is the weeds are getting so high.
Comments, and we have the final remarks by council.
None.
None?
I just, on the municipal budget, we mentioned the finance department. I'd like to also mention that Rich Crane has a huge amount of input on that, and he does work tirelessly, so thank you, Rich.
Thanks, Rich.
Thank you.
You know, Rich, just a quick question, because it came up again, but, you know, working on that, the ordinances for blight and the houses and stuff like that, it took such a long time trying to figure out how to write those. I mean, what is the next step now? It's unfortunate, because if your municipality doesn't have an ordinance, you can't do anything, even though you want to do something. And then you have to work through legal counsel to try to figure out how to write it, because oftentimes when you go after one issue, you cause other problems that you don't realize when you try to just write an ordinance to go after one issue. So I think this is why it's taking so long, but what's the path forward now? Like getting like Bill Greer involved in the process?
Yeah, most definitely, that would help.
We have a meeting scheduled to discuss this.
Later this week,
Yeah,
Thursday,
this
yeah.
week. And what- your property on Dock Road will be the first thing we discuss. But we do have a meeting. It is difficult. Things move very slowly, it seems. It's frustrating. And the blight ordinance, or the abandoned property ordinance, was adopted by the state of New Jersey. So it was a template for us. And it was very difficult up until the time the state adopted this ordinance, which has been a year ago. It was very difficult to do anything specific for abandoned properties, as long as people were paying their taxes. But this ordinance basically will make it easier for us to enforce these rules. And then it took a long time to get the ordinance approved. There were a lot of problems and situations because of Sandy. There are still people there are people, believe it or not, that are waiting to still build, that haven't gotten their money or have had really horrible experiences with very unethical people that came into town. And we were concerned because we didn't want to, we really didn't want to penalize those people. I don't think it's necessarily a property by you, but there are some properties in town where this has been an issue. So, but we are concerned, and we do have a meeting scheduled this week to discuss this. So things should move forward.
My comment on the same line, I think this has to be a priority. It extends into the commercial areas also. You know, one thing, I can't be at this week's meeting, what I would like to see as part of that meeting is an issuance of a quarterly report that identifies the properties that are on the abandoned list, what's being done to address those properties that are on the abandoned list, and so that we have some measurement of how successful we are doing in addressing this problem. So I'd like to see, I don't like reports for the sake of reports every month, but I think this is new to us, it's a quarterly report, and I'd like to see what kind of obstacles we're facing, and so we can help, so we can really make this happen, so we can address it. So if you can, you know, start addressing them right away, but, you know, let's measure progress quarterly in terms of what's being accomplished and what still needs to be accomplished.
Anybody else, any other comments? Okay, and so on that vein, I don't really have any comments tonight, but there are some good things happening in Beach Haven, and I do want to thank the water department, and Jackie in particular, who's in the audience, for doing such an amazing job with this Aqua Hawk. And I've had, in the little time that we've used it, people coming up and saying, this is so wonderful. And actually on Friday, Jackie called me because somebody on the street near my house was using a lot of water and she couldn't get a hold of them. And we finally got a hold of them, and my husband went over to the house, and they were so appreciative. And I just think that we need to spread the word. I mean, postcards are going out to explain to people. It's very easy to use. You get on your computer, you can see exactly how much water you're using. You search, and if you're away and your house is closed up for the winter and you've turned the water off, you shouldn't be using any water. But if you're here, if all of a sudden you see a spike in your water use, you might have a leaking toilet or a small leak somewhere. It is absolutely fantastic. So I do want to compliment the water department and Jackie for the hard work she's been doing to get this off the ground. And also the finance department for the hard work they've been doing with the budget and all the other stuff they have to do. Because we're still working on FEMA, getting reimbursed by FEMA, which hopefully is coming to a head. So anyway, with that final remark, I'm always on the optimistic side. I think we have a great committee working on the master plan. I think things are going to really start to look great in Beach Haven. I would like to call for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.